We have a wild data point here with tech layoffs surging to a nearly 2-year high. Tech companies eliminated 38,000 roles in May alone. That brings us up to over 120,000 layoffs in 2026 alone, and that is a 65% increase over this time last year. Now, I also think it's important for you to remember that just yesterday I showed you this data that layoffs are on the decline. And that remains true. This is truly a tech issue. The overall market actually has seen a 7% decline in layoffs. Now, why is this happening? The answer is simple. It's AI. It's not that AI is taking people's jobs. It's that companies need more money so they can invest it in AI. A couple of things you have to remember. One, AI companies are not turning a profit right now. They're operating under the same kind of model that DoorDash or Uber or Lyft use, where they're basically subsidizing all users to get us hooked, and then they're going to raise their prices. Right now, they are not making enough money. On top of that, they're having to invest heavily in chip production, which is why companies like NVIDIA are off the charts. And building all those data centers is not exactly cheap. The reality is that most tech companies are not going to take a risk at being left behind right now. Everyone's trying to figure out how to incorporate AI into their product, how to use AI in their work, and how to figure out how to get AI to be profitable. There's another really interesting data point here, which is that there's a big rise in the number of cuts that are related to mergers and acquisition or bankruptcies, which suggests that a lot of companies are restructuring to figure out what things are going to look like in the age of AI. And finally, I'm going to give you some honest advice, same advice I would give one of my friends, same advice I would give myself. Number one, if you're trying to pivot careers right now, do not pivot into tech. First, the competition's insane because some of the top companies in the world have laid off really, really top talent, and all of the other companies are fighting for that talent right now. So it's really hard for anyone else to even get in. But even if you do get in, you're going to be in a really vulnerable position because you're going to have a big learning curve, and a lot of these companies are defaulting to layoffs to free up resources. You don't want to be in a situation where you're just going to be out of a job in a few months. Second, you got to learn AI. You got to start using the tools. You got to start building automations that use AI. You have to start figuring out parts of your work that you can automate. Those are the people who are going to stay employed. If you hear that and you say, I don't want to do that, I don't want to play that game, that's okay. But then tech is probably not going to be the field where your career is going to grow in the next few years because this is what companies expect. And third, get really, really exceptional at the human skills that AI cannot recreate. For example, a lot of working with AI is project management, so people who have super strong project management skills are actually going to have an advantage here. Strategy, judgment, decision-making, this stuff is really important with AI because there's so much information, but AI lacks clear value systems. You as a human can bring that to the table and process all of that information and figure out what's really important. Bringing in authentic presence. I think one of the big mistakes a lot of people are making is just basically turning themselves into AI bots. Everything they write, everything they say is scripted by AI. They sound like AI. They are literally adding nothing to the equation. But I think in an age where people have no idea if they're talking to a human or a bot and what's real, people who are able to be authentic and credible and trustworthy are going to be at a premium. I think companies are going to pay for that skill. Another area is going to be depth of domain expertise, really understanding the function that you're in. Being able to ask the right questions, catch the mistakes. Even understanding what within your domain it makes sense to use AI for and what it shouldn't be doing. Creativity and taste. AI just gives you the average of everything that's out there, but it doesn't really have strong opinions or understanding of what people find interesting, what they think is cool. You get to bring that creativity, and AI should actually be a tool that lets you spend more time in that space. AI is really good at executing and pattern matching to solve known problems, but we need humans to be the ones figuring out what to do about the new problems that we don't even know we need to tackle yet, and to be the drivers of that genuine connection, the interpersonal relationships, and the morals and ethics. If we do it right, AI should actually allow us to be more human in the workplace than we've ever been.